So, a couple of quick things about the project, an update, if you will. I got my power cables for the solar panels, so we're charging right now, which is actually pretty amazing considering these are completely shaded at this time. I don't think there's any sunlight even hitting the panels, it's just ambient light passing in the shade. And it's still charging the panels, and just in a few hours it's actually gone about 30% increase in battery, so that's doing great. 200 watts in parallel, so it maintains the 12 to 21 volts to power into this. I've got to tuck these wires up and in behind there so that it kind of finishes the look, but otherwise they're tucked in behind the gasket and then run down and around that gasket, which I'll fix a little bit nicer so that it has that nice clean look. And I'm going to build a little hinge on the back, or a pneumatic of some kind that lifts it so I can tilt it with the sun. And this tube here will be shortened back actually to the edge of the panel itself. And then I put a ball bearing inside of it and then have an L bracket that allows me to pivot the unit on this axis here. And because I don't like the look of the tube sticking out over the edge of the vehicle, I'm an aesthetics freak, so I'm going to be moving it back by putting this flat bar piece of aluminum right here, which this is 6 feet at 1/4 inch by 3 inches wide, so it's a huge piece of aluminum, and that was, I think, $10. So if you're buying aluminum, don't buy it at your local hardware store. Find one of these metal recycling places. This is the one here in Wilmington, and yeah, this place is awesome. It cost me $11 for that piece, and then by the pound I bought some angled aluminum here, which was a couple bucks a pound. I had 4 pounds and it cost me like $5 or $6. This piece, and then some of these thicker ones like this. This is what I'm building my own brackets out of, which you can see it's a pretty nice heavy piece of aluminum. And I got these ones as well. This is from some specific machine application, but it's a nice heavy duty one, which I'll be using this as the point to rest the bearing up against and the tube, so it'll pivot like that. And this L bracket will stand up off the top of the vehicle, off of the top of that. But again, I bought this one piece of aluminum here, which is very thin, and it's just an L piece. This was $30 at Lowe's. And I bought 4 pieces of that same angle bracket and a 10-foot length for $20 in total at the local metal place. So, moral of the story, buy your metal at a metal place, especially aluminum, because there's a huge markup on that apparently. And then, when you're looking at brackets, these little flags at the back are really handy because they're cut perfectly and whatnot. So the Rugged Ridge rack, these are okay, and the hardware is actually exceptional, but otherwise I wouldn't buy it, only because I hate the look of these. These window edge pieces are just hideous. They're really bad, they don't stabilize themselves, and they're not really that practical. They look really ugly on the side of the vehicle, and basically all it is a compression that squeezes around the rain gutter. So you can see it like that. The top gets compressed down with this screw. So I wanted to build something that would use that same gutter, but out of aluminum to keep it a little bit lower profile than what these look like. So I've cut a piece of this here, which sits in the gutter, and then that flattens over the top of the vehicle. And then this here, I've cut to match it, but it comes down a little bit behind it, and then I bent it about an inch down in at about a 40 or 35 degree angle back, and then drilled a hole between the two of them so that a bolt can hold them together and compress them. Eventually I'll put a little rubber on the bottom of this footing piece here, which will hold it tighter. And that looks like this on the side of the vehicle. And that's nice and polished up. I've rounded some of the corners so they aren't very sharp, so that's a nice round edge so you don't hit yourself on it. And it's literally just this one bolt that you unscrew and it moves out super easily. The other one was really difficult to take on and off and set up. This is super easy, and I don't know why they didn't build a better one. This is, I think, 10 times better than the one that they have, and it looks better, and it's cheap. This, materials wise, I would say is $1, maybe $1. No, it's not even $1. The bolt is probably the most expensive thing on it. The aluminum is probably 89 cents. So you could build yourself a roof rack for under 30 bucks with just some really nice high-grade aluminum. And this is really, really heavy duty. This would hold an enormous amount of weight, and you obviously can't put a lot of weight on those gutters anyway. So reducing the total roof weight is my end goal, and just making it look better. So buy yourself some aluminum at your local metal recycling facilities. Skip out on the Lowe's aluminum because that's a ripoff. And set yourself up with some solar so that you can charge all your peripherals in your vehicle. Boom. Another Jeep project.